Yo, what's going on? Constilation Gaming here, and today we're going to be talking about how I took top 8 in MBT's Poison Nectar Monthly. Now, this is a smaller tournament than a lot of the Illustrials official tournaments. However, this thing is a freaking gauntlet. And it's stacked with pretty much all of the best players in Illustrials right now. Like, you've got Jackie Omu, Spicy Sausage, Swolex, the second place winner from Dallas in there. Sir Tractor was in there, Bean Soldier, Distant Coder, just multiple tournament winners in there at the same time, and I went through most of them. I played through pretty much everybody I listed off except for Sir Tractor and Swolex. Ended up losing to Bean in the first round of top 8, but we're just going to go through my list and see what I think about it. So this is my deck list, and it's scrap. Honestly, I started building a different deck previously in that night. I made adjustment after adjustment after adjustment, and then it was like 4 cards away from scrap, so I just ended up pretty much running scrap. So, if you'll take a look, the only 3 of Illustral that I have in here is the Aster Rabbit, because Aster Rabbit's just kind of broken, and I always run 3 of in every single deck. It's just unreasonable not to, in my opinion, because of how strong it is. Its ability to just search whatever you want in the top 3 is nuts. There was one game in the tournament this weekend, I just re-enchanted Rabbit 3 turns in a row and continuously attacked with it and just beat my opponent down. And Rabbit was just pretty much my win con for that game, just because I gained so many resources, and I was able to just, because I gained so many resources off the Rabbit, still able to protect the Rabbit and then just attack and stuff. So Rabbit was extremely strong this weekend. One Elichick, obviously, because you can only play one. Got Viscerus here because it's extremely strong. Viscerus, if you get it out late game, it can just spell the end of the game, especially if you've already got another Illustral on board that they have to contest with 2. So that way they're pretty much contesting with 3 Illustrals. It can be very, very detrimental to them at that point. But yeah, Viscerus, just good card. I said that at the beginning of the set. Stopped playing it a little bit because of how much Spectaris was relevant, but Viscerus is still a good card. Played Equal Links here because just rune removal. A lot of people are realizing that you're not playing Hurricane as much, but having rune removal is still good. This deck doesn't have Hurricane, kind of wish it did, because a lot of people this weekend just didn't respect Hurricane, me included, I won't lie. I also did not respect Hurricane at all. I didn't see it a single time this weekend either. One copy of Lavalith, in case you get behind. Lavalith is still a pretty good card, especially if they've got just a lot of spirits. There was one turn, dude had Like a Void, Equal Links, and something else out. I think it was just Attack Position Rabbit. He had 5 spirits on board, so I was able to Laurels the Equal Links, Lavalith out, destroy his back row, Earthquake the freaking Like a Void, and then attack over the Rabbit, and I wiped literally his entire board. And this card was able to hardcore enable me to come back and win that game. Galaxy, because Galaxy is really good. If they're playing Nobby, it plays around Nobby, also just shuts down other Galaxies. Also, since we're playing Scythe here, Scythe can power up Galaxy to an 8 attacker, which is also really good. You got Eddie here because Eddie's very prevalent, just switching anything's position, like a Rabbit or pretty much any of these Illustrals you'll see, with the exception of Galaxy, are taken care of by Eddie, and I guess Lavalith, but Eddie is still a very, very impactful card, even with Galaxy pretty frequent. People are kind of getting off the heavy Galaxy train because people are starting to tech more and more against it. So the more people get off of Galaxy, the more Eddie actually becomes prevalent and good. Got Necruff here. It's just a Fire 5. And then, yeah, pretty much that's why it's here. It's just a 5 attacker that is Fire, so if I wanted to, I can also use it as a Nexus Peg, worst case scenario. 2 Kinleo here. This card literally pretty much never came up all weekend. Kinleo was just, I think I had it kill one thing all weekend. It was just a very lackluster card, in my opinion. It just never ended up working out for me. Honestly, the whole Argo package as a whole I felt was pretty lackluster, but I'll get into that more. Spectaris is here because Galaxies, Viserys, anything that relies heavily on its ability, Spectaris is still very good against. Plus also the fact that you can just have it as a 5 attacker, even without having anything to suppress, like worry about suppressing, is still very good too. So that's why Spectaris is pretty much always in every deck. I wanted to fit a third of in, but I realistically couldn't in either the sideboard or the main because of this freaking Argo package taking up so much room, honestly. Then you've got 3 Gorgons because it's the best counter rune in the entire game, 3 Ambrosia because healing is extremely busted, 2 Argo, and this was my weakest card of the entire weekend. Like, Argo and its Argo package as a whole, like these 7 cards here, the 2 Kinleo, 2 Argo, and then these 3, just did not work out for me. I had 2 times in the entire tournament where this was relevant. I was siding out of this entire package in order to win games more than I was utilizing it, which sounds weird considering how much you have to put in order to play this Argo package. But literally, I was just, most games, game 1 I was losing, and then I was swapping out of the Argo package, playing essentially 5s, and then that's how I won the other 2 games. Got 2 Shield here, because Shield's really good, having big Illustrals in the game right now. Shield is very impactful, and like Blistrix, or Like a Void, or anything else that's just big and hard to get over, Shield is really impactful for. 2 Alter here because we're playing a lot of Nexus Banks. Alter did come up like 1 time, and that was it. That was realistically all I got to use Alter to. I think, no, it came up twice, my bad. And then both of them were in the same set. That's why I was thinking it only came up once. But Alter also just felt like a win more card most of the time. I just played it because the Argo package, so I'm pretty much running 9 cards that I realistically didn't feel like were that good. I just was not a fan of them at all. Demeter was okay. I ran it because Equal Links, obviously. But Zeus is just much better because as soon as like the 1 Celestial that you Demeter buff gets shielded or something like that, you're SOL. Whereas Zeus is just better, so even though Equal Links is stupidly strong and you need to play Demeter in order to turn on your Equal Links, have a Nexus Bank for it, Zeus is still better just as a whole. Got Laurels here because Laurels is stupidly powerful, enabling you to come back from bad situations. Cheap removal, really good. And Eruption. This was my best card of the weekend by far. Like, this card, as a one-of, won me more games than my entire Argo package combined that I played 9 cards for, essentially. Like, this one-of card won me, like, I think 5 separate games. Obviously, you see I have it here in the sideboard, but it won me. I know it won me 2 games in 1 set against Spicy Sausage. 1 game specifically against Coder, and then 1 game in my last round, or second to last round, against Heal Stall of all things. Eruption was what ended up winning me the game in time. So this card, even though I only played 1 of, I think it's stupidly strong. Nobody really plays around it. Everybody always plays to get board presence. And they're like, alright, if I go down to 2, whatever, they still can't attack me and kill me. Eruption changes that. Eruption changes the math, and with how people play right now, it is extremely, extremely impactful. Without this card, I would not have top 8'd, without a doubt. Like, I probably would have lost half my games without Eruption. Earthquake here, just because it's Earthquake. And then, I've already talked about the artifacts here. And then you've got 2 Tsunamis here, not on 3, just in case we do run against like a water deck or a heal stall deck, which I did run against once, so it was nice not to have all 3. Then for your side deck, you got 1 Eruption here, because if they're not playing around it, and like if they're not playing a heal stall deck, Eruption is pretty good. I actually did end up siding the second one in to the heal stall matchup, which is weird because normally I side it out, but I really felt like that I was going to need it, and it ended up literally winning me the game, so it worked out. extremely well. Poison Tipped Arrow, this always came in for Argo because I needed more removal, and I always felt like Argo was lackluster. Same with Cryoblast, as long as they weren't on Frost, it was pretty much coming in, because like I said, I was pretty much just putting Eddie in, taking the 2 Kinleos out, and just playing 5s. That was a majority of what I ended up playing. Realistically, I gave up on Scrap, like, very quick into it, and it didn't really do me all that much. Divine Blessing, this is for the Blizz matchup. It didn't really come up because just I played one Blizz matchup, but the way Jackie Omu plays, his Blizz is not necessarily like everybody else plays their Blistrix. He plays a very conservative version, whereas everybody else just goes balls to the wall, Avalanche, all of the Rise and all that, but he actually plays very, very conservative with his Blizz, which is why I think that he does so well with it. Spoiled Fruit here. This card also won me the game against Heal Stall because I was just able to Spoiled Fruit, they weren't able to heal, and then I was able to Eruption for game. So Spoiled Fruit is also really strong just against the heal matchups, and next set especially, heal is going to become even stronger, so I already said this in the top 16 list and before, but I would pick up Spoiled Fruit as soon as you can. Frost Spirit for Cryoblast, obviously. Eddie here, just because Eddie's good. Boombat for the Blizz matchup. It actually did come up very well. However, Jackie Omu was able to, in the second or third match, one of them, he was able to Dense Fog my Boombat when it came out. So it made it pretty much useless, and that Dense Fog did end up winning him the game. Then I had one Kinleo in case I felt like the Argo package was working, but I needed more removal, so I could side in like Kinleo for Necrup or something like that. I did try it, never worked out. Like I said, this Argo package for me was very disappointing. Argo did lose me the game against Bean Soldier, like not me playing Argo, but him playing Argo did lose me both rounds that I lost against Bean Soldier. However, I still am not a fan of this card, and I don't think it's great. I drew more into the artifacts than I drew into Argo all day, which, I mean, I have 3 artifacts that make sense, but at the same time, I just barely ever saw Argo, and it just was not a good card for me. I just felt like I was just bricking on a bunch of cards that needed to utilize Argo without having Argo. Maybe if I put a third Argo in, it would work a little bit better, but I'm just not a fan of the whole package. And then for the Spirit deck, you've got 6 Taratlus, 6 Pyro, 3 Leviathan, 3 Zaptor, and 2 Owloon. Everything felt good. Nothing was really too low. There was never really a moment where I felt like I needed anything more. Honestly, I was just pitching Lunar Spirit. I could have gone down on 1 Lunar Spirit for 1 Thunder Spirit, because I was just pitching a lot of Lunar Spirits, because I knew I didn't need it. Like, if I drew into 1 Spectaris, okay, there wasn't really a moment where Trishula insists that you need the 2 because the shield never came up for me. And so I tried it out, and honestly, I would recommend just taking this out, throwing another Thunder Spirit, or just any other Spirit in. But yeah, that's the deck. That's how I made top 8 in the PNM this weekend. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know if you're interested in playing this. I hope you all have a good day, and peace.